Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Fantastic Fictioners.
The show where we take a look at fan fictions that are, less than fantastic. It's less than fantastic today.
Oh, that's for sure. So today, we are reading a crime and punishment fanfiction called Ransom by
Super Me Dude 9.
And the way this guy attempts to write a Dostoevsky fanfiction just doesn't work.
Yeah, I have a feeling that this is going to be a lot less like Crime and Punishment and more like that stupid Mark Wahlberg movie Shooter.
So, oh my goodness. I'm just going to spoil it now. There are no characters from Crime and Punishment in the story.
Nor are there themes or even the same setting as Crime and Punishment.
They're never in the right setting or even year. Not even era.
If you would have taken
century.
If you would have taken Crime and Punishment and the author's name off of this, I would have no idea what this is. I would think this is an original story because it has nothing to do with it. And you can't argue that this is not a Crime and Punishment fanfiction because it says it right here in the title.
Right.
And, oh boy. When we first read this, we laughed so hard, I'm surprised we didn't get a noise complaint.
Oh, I know, right? I mean, the RAs almost cracked down on us, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We were laughing up a storm.
And this thing is about like 4 pages maybe, but we stretched this out to an hour because of all the jokes we made. So this might be one where we just stop a lot of the time and just riff on it because this is definitely one of those. It's gonna be an experience. I assume that you will get years added to your life because of this. The ground will cease to exist beneath you. It will turn to mud. You will sink beneath it and turn into a completely different person and emerge yourself in a world unlike anything else. One where fire rains down every night and the water is made of glass.
All right. I don't think I can introduce it better than that.
It's that good.
So let's just get started. Okay.
Right. And because there's no dialogue or characters really at all, we just decided to break this up into paragraphs and alternate.
Yeah, and it had kind of paragraphs, but I broke it up generally based on just size of paragraphs, so they're pretty close to the same size.
And of course, we're going to have to be very careful to make sure we keep the action and intensity of this amazing drama.
It seems like it's going for an action movie vibe, so that's what we have to go
just
for.
Like Crime and Punishment.
So here is Ransom by
Super Me Dude 9. Here we go.
End the special ops. You are trained for big crimes.
So I guess in special ops they train you how to be a mob boss.
You're just a criminal, I guess. Maybe it's organized crime.
I gotta join the special ops.
Alright, let's do it. It could be saving the president or big drug gang. Why would you save a drug gang?
Well, I guess they really want to get those narcotics going to help bolster the economy. I guess in 2025 or whatever, we're really desperate.
Initially, I wasn't sure that he meant that the special ops helped organized crime. He absolutely means it now. I can tell by the second sentence.
Yeah.
I was sent for a mission to Miami for a drug-dealing gang. Definitely the setting of Crime and Punishment, taking place in Russia.
Yeah, well, of course, we all know about Miami, Russia. It's right next to Smolensk.
Ah, you're right. My bad. They were near the pair, about to go. I guess there was some sort of fruit. Then we came in helicopter and busted them with a 10-month in prison and a fine of $15,000. Some of my team retired, including me. I guess I retired. All right, so let's wrap up the story since it's over. No, I'm just kidding. And
I wish it was over.
I do too.
I wish I was dead.
I'm tired already.
Can we do not this right now?
No, it's required by law, actually.
Ah, crap.
We're being held hostage by big crime.
Oh, no.
Not the big crime. And went back to their family. But one day, we were all brought together for a special mission. The president was kidnapped as ransom.
Sure. For some days now, they've been planning to get him back. When all in the world has this on, they said they want $500 billion or they will kill the president. Okay, I don't care how good the president is. It's not worth bankrupting the entire United States to get him back.
Oh my.
We have a vice president for this purpose.
That is a preposterous amount of money to ask. And that is one of my first hints to make me think that maybe this is a young boy writing something about his action figures.
I think so. And then maybe his older brother was reading Crime and Punishment and he just thought it was like Law and Order.
And he's like, oh, this is cool. The title's cool, at least.
It is a good title. We had called special forces from all over the world. Russian, Chinese, Japanese, you name it.
So...
The only reason they agreed that they would do it is because they had problem like this before. If it weren't for Japanese technology, we would have never tracked them. They had new software. We went in 5,000 troops into stealth on the enemy. They had trackers and cameras on them to know what was going on in there.
So, that line that says Russian, Chinese, Japanese, you name it, that is the closest line in this entire fanfiction to Crime and Punishment. And it's not even a full sentence.
No. That's sad. Can we just leave now?
I think we should just change. By the end, we should classify this as a fanfiction for something.
Yeah.
All right.
Like Shooter with Mark Wahlberg.
Like Shooter. There you go. This is a Shooter fanfiction.
Yeah.
From now on, we're determining that.
That movie's stupid.
The author did not determine that, but they obviously don't know what they want.
All right, editor, I need you to do this for me. Can you put up a picture of a poster for Shooter, and then put the words "stupid" on it? Thank you. I can't see it, but I'm assuming you're doing it. Okay, let's get back.
Sounds good. When they just left, the TV went on. You could see that the guy was paid to act the way he is. He said the only reason he was doing it was for revenge. They said that they had been treated horribly when they were kids, and they were sent to Africa. This is still one sentence. As they grew up, they managed to attack trucks transporting guns. They said they were sent to Africa as a punishment for breaking the law.
By the time the commercial got over, half the stealth team was dead. Okay, so they went in with 50,000 troops, and by the time this presumably 30-second commercial ended, half of them were dead.
What you're telling me is that during this giant event that for some reason newscasters decided to broadcast, which I don't think they would, a military endeavor, they broadcast it like fools. Anyway, during that, they show a commercial.
So how did they even kill this many people at once? Do they have, machine guns that shoot little nukes? Did they give them too much McDonald's and they, grew horrible growths? What happened?
McDonald's.
What happened?
Oh, gosh.
We saw, as in sawing, how they got in and where the presidents were kept and planned it even carefully.
They got more than one president now.
Okay, so I assume that they have all the living ones. They have Jimmy Carter, they have both George Bushes, they have Bill Clinton, they have Ronald McDonald, they have Yoda, they have Robbie Rotten, Other Father, and Big Bird. All my favorite presidents.
Seems legit.
Yes.
More legit than this story, at least.
In the next few days, they doubled the price of the ransom because of our stealth. And I don't know why that was in quotes. They were dead serious about it. We had figured out some identity from the video. The boss had planned to pay some ex-Marines to help him do it. The boss was the same one from the drug dealer who got away.
What?
When did this happen?
I don't know.
I could tell. He changed his name and country, as any other criminal would do. It even comes on television show that a criminal wrote. Sorry, a television show. I have to give him at least some credit there that they put the word A in there. You get 1 point out of 100.
Woo!
The show is called Criminal Activity, No Capitalization. I honestly thought this guy did not know what he was doing. I think that the author's starting to talk about himself here.
I think that he's right in that the guy who made that TV show didn't know what he was doing.
No.
Because he titled the show the most generic thing, and I don't know how he got away with that. It's very hard to get into the television business.
It's like if Law and Order just, really didn't care.
Dun dun. I think that's what that Law and Order theme is like. Anyway. The next we sent out. Sorry, there's no out. The next day we sent 10,000 troops to storm the place. We had lost 1,500 troops because it was a trap, said Akbar. No, Akbar's not in this story.
So how did they die?
Don't know. It was a trap, man. Instantaneous trap death.
Maybe it's like whenever you say, it's a trap, people just die now.
Your flagship gets attacked when that happens.
I mean, assuming because of just how fast people die, because there's just so many people in the world, whenever someone says it's a trap, someone's probably dying at the same time. Coincidence?
Oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. It all makes sense now. That's the crime. They had moved out so we wouldn't find them. How did they kill your troops then? I was stupid to think they were still there. Yeah, me too, I guess, because they killed your troops somehow without being there. If they had captured the president, then they would have thought about another layout in case somebody does what we did. I don't know what they mean by layout.
So we started all over again to see where they were. We'd gotten a radio message asking, "Did you enjoy my gift? Did you think I was stupid to just stay where I was and get killed?" It was followed by a sequence of laughter like he was enjoying it, so the time we thought of doing a full strike on them. They had a better place because it was underwater, which made it harder to find. Because when I think of Crime and Punishment, I think of underwater spy bases.
This is awesome. I mean, in the sense that it could be cool, but it totally isn't at all.
Then I came in and told them to use the same thing, like in Battleship the movie, and it worked.
So it's a Battleship fanfiction.
Okay.
Or it's Call of Duty. It feels like a Call of Duty level to me.
But who references that movie? If it wasn't for this, I would have forgotten it existed.
What even happened in that movie?
I never saw it. Apparently it was like Alien Transformers and a really sad attempt to
I
be
saw
relevant.
it, and I don't remember that, so...
Yeah. It shows that it's a good sign. Okay, we tracked a huge item underwater that stopped moving every 5 minutes. We obviously recorded it to see the battle plan. Since it was the president, we had to take in the best group of soldiers with use for the attack.
Oh, that is intense.
I'm getting goosebumps. Feel my arm. Start rubbing my arm. There we go. Yeah.
I don't know what that was. Okay.
To be honest, I don't either.
This time I could go along with the other bosses. Okay, I thought he had a boss, but now he's a boss. Like a boss. And fight. We found 5 different places we could enter without them spotting us. We used fully offense, and we used it carefully. We had only one question on the way, and nobody knew the answer. It was... apostrophe. How do we know? No is capitalized. The president was even alive! Apostrophe. We just hoped this mission was for something.
We attacked their base. We had a few difficult places to cut open, so when we did it, we signaled the others and went in. It was hard to get past the first guards, but we did and almost took out half of them till we realized that they were robot and kept Marines prisoners, so we retreated as many men as we could and replaned?
Replanned, but not spelled right.
So,
Replaned.
when I think of Crime and Punishment, I think of robots and wiping out half of your infantry.
Crime and Punishment has probably about 8 to 12 main characters with names.
Are any of them robots?
All of them, actually. I mean, that's pretty spot on.
You know, this is less like Crime and Punishment and more like one of those late 70s, early 80s cop thrillers that were like really cheesy and over the top. I mean, picture it. You're coming home from work, you're tired, you sit on your couch, you turn on your RC TV, and then this theme song comes out. Boop, doo, doo, doo. Crime and punishment, punishment and crime. We're gonna make the bad guys do all the time. Woo-hoo. I mean, you can see that. And it's like there's the synth in the background, and then there's the guy. He's like in the lowrider. He's got the glasses. I mean, but it's just that. That's exactly what's happening.
Got the big 80s hair and everything.
Punishment and crime. It's just it's so bad. Yeah, this is more like a cop thriller
right.
than Crime and Punishment. Whew.
In this plan, we couldn't ensure the president's safety. The plan was to use loads of torpedoes to take out the guards. That sounds incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, that was probably going to kill him.
Torpedoes 100% are not for personnel.
No.
We would have to be quick, otherwise we would have to let the presidents die. But we went ahead with it since at least 18,000 men had died. Holy crap.
That's a lot.
And yet, I kept telling myself why I didn't die there. I don't know why that is, but maybe we'll get to it.
I guess.
I took some time writing to my family in the middle of the battle. No wonder why people are dying. Jenkins over here is writing a letter, and apparently he's a boss, so like they're looking for orders. What do we do, Captain? Hold on, I'm writing my family a letter.
You could get court-martialed for that, buddy. Not to mention the fact that you're killing the president because
with
of
the
this.
Torpedoes.
Yeah. Like I said, crime and punishment.
Okay. I just took some time writing to my family to see what was going on out there.
Because
apparently,
obviously, when you're underwater and you write a letter, you're going to get an immediate response.
Hey there, you letter, Mr. Postman. This is the best postman ever. He literally scuba dived to a battle.
It's Postman Pat.
Sprinted through the robots, apparently. Past the robots.
And the gunfire.
He saw the president. He, like, winked at the president, threw him a letter from the first lady. Like, ninja starred it, through a doorway, like, under it. Because he's awesome. This postman should be the main character. And he got it back to the narrator. I don't know what his name is. Because it's never said.
Let's just say it's Henkelbert.
He's not
Henkelbert Finkeldink.
I know he's not Raskolnikov.
Put that name up there. Henkelbert Finkeldink.
Oh, gosh.
That way the audience can follow along with Henkelbert's adventure. You got it, Mr. Finkeldink? Let's go.
Okay, where are we? The truth is, I'll never retire from who I am. I'm a special ops, so I divided to go on the mission. I thought he was already on the mission.
I guess he was just going on vacation? To a battlefield?
To a battlefield with robots.
We sent out 500 submarines, which shot from all the points making lots of bubble.
Bloop.
Sure.
The explosions happen, and
If
on
we
the surface it's just bloop, one bubble.
Yeah, great. It was a success, so there were loads of people trying to find the president, and we thought we did. There was a locked down room, which must have triggered with the hit.
Oh, darn.
I'm starting to not understand what any of this is.
Yeah.
So we used the materials we had got the president out as soon as possible. We managed to get him out without dying.
Oh, poor out, he died.
and put him in a submarine to head back home. We had a moment of silence for those who had died. Some of them died without even knowing for what. So wait, you took a bunch of these people on this mission and never told them why they were going? I'm done. Can't deal with it anymore.
So,
I can't.
As we know, in international special
It's
operations
so bad.
assignments, he has left the room, guys. He's gone. Oh my gosh. Okay. As we know, in special ops assignments,
I'm back.
he's back. He came back in the room.
I'm leaving again.
He's gone. Okay. Now he's back again. In international special ops assignments, you never brief your operatives. You just throw them in there, you give them a gun that fires a lot of bullets, and you're like, go hog wild. And you don't provide translators or anything, because international assignments, everyone knows each other's language. Because everyone speaks English, right, Trev?
Ich not utkoschmassen.
See? Later, we had a big party down at the Presidential. Whatever that. It must be a hotel called the Presidential.
Sure, I'm sure there's one of those in like Vegas or Utah.
And the other countries were thanked with money. I thought
like $5.
Here you go. Each country receives $1.
What did they even do? What did the other countries even do? They never did anything.
I assume that they were in the groups of soldiers, the massive numbers of soldiers that died and survived.
This is going to get quite the critique.
I thought I had definitely finished my career and live with my family. But I was wrong! And then there's no end to sentence, so this is still the same sentence. 2 years later, we were called again. That's a whole other story. I still did not get one thing. How did they get a hold of the president? Period.
I'm sad to say that we never got a sequel.
Did we not?
No.
I'm okay with that. I really am okay with that.
Ooh!
Super Me Dude 9, please don't write another one.
Please do.
No.
So that was a Mark Wahlberg shooter fanfiction / battleship fanfiction /
Call of
anything
Duty.
else.
So where do we even begin on critique here? I mean,
I have a feeling that this could be a long one, you know?
yeah.
I mean, we're already 20 minutes in and we haven't even started the critique. That's bad.
Oh my goodness.
So we'll try to hurry this up, but there's a lot of points.
Yeah.
So after a lot of deliberation, we have somehow narrowed it to 4 points. Now, I'm sure you all know by now that the only rule we have, aside from not being like overtly mean to the author, because we're not trying to. I know we've made a couple of jokes at presumably his expense, but it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
But we're also not allowed to directly attack the premise, which we'll get to that in a minute. But first, the biggest issue, and I'm sure you all know because we've said this throughout the whole thing.
Source material, guys. Source material. If you're going to write a fan fiction, with source material in mind. Do something with the source material. Put one character in there. That would qualify as technically doing a fan fiction with that source material. There were no characters from Crime and Punishment in this. Russia was mentioned once.
They're in Miami most of the time.
Well, I don't know where they were. It never really said.
They said Miami like once.
Yeah, they said Miami initially, and then they said some countries, but they were never there at the countries. They were talking about those countries as the people who sent troops in.
And because of this, it's just so flat and tries to be its own thing, it tries too hard. Now, again, the premise itself is not bad. Yeah, it could make for an interesting kind of...
Like a fun action...
Yeah, fun, turn your brain off movie, like a popcorn movie, unlike Mark Wahlberg's Shooter.
Now, it would be really awesome if you could, make it like an 80s throwback.
Yeah.
Because I could totally see that. And when we were talking about that earlier and singing that
But that is just
ditty.
a suggestion. But as is, here's the thing. This could be a good story if it only had one climax. This thing is like 5.
Right.
The whole thing is just one big climax. And then because of that, we don't get to know any of the characters. And because we don't get to know any of the characters, we don't care. Now, I'll get to the characters in just a moment. But the thing is, when it tries too hard, it thinks higher of itself, obviously, so it tries too hard. And when it does that...
It falls so far.
It does.
And in the end... It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't. But the thing is, with this, trying too hard makes it look unprofessional.
Yeah.
Now, it's very clear that they wanted to make everything get really exciting and really, really action-packed. However, if the whole thing is just nonstop action, it's going to get tiring, and eventually you're just going to get used to it. It's just going to get boring. Yeah. Now, that's the problem with not being able to pace it out. Now, the characters. There are no characters. I don't know anybody's name. There's the president. There's the main guy who apparently retired, except not. And that's it. I don't know anybody else. There are no characters, no dialogue even.
And there was the one guy, he said, that was like the bad boss or whatever. I don't know.
And we never saw him again.
Right.
But there are no real characters. Having actual characters, it's not that the characters are weak. There just are no characters. Having them would help a story. Otherwise, it's just the narrator talking about some random experience.
And something that always helps, and that we pretty much always bring up.
Yeah, every time.
At Fantastic Fictioners. I would, maybe be pretty proud if I saw one that didn't have too much of this. And this is maybe one of the less flawed in this criteria. But spelling and grammar was not amazing in this one. It wasn't terrible, but there were sentence fragments, run-on sentences, you're missing commas, you're missing periods, you're missing question marks. Quotations were there for no reason.
People's names were spelled wrong.
Just
incorrect plurals, but not as bad as the other stuff we've read previously.
Right, and I think that as a writer, this person isn't necessarily super bad. I just say
they're starting off and they're learning, because this is very clearly one of the first things.
Yeah.
And again, the premise isn't bad.
Right.
It just needs some work.
I think the premise could be really fun.
Yeah, like you said, we can't criticize the premise, but we are saying the premise is good.
Yeah.
You just need to.
I would agree.
You just need to work on the details a little bit more, and that's where this other stuff, like the characters and the source material, especially, falls.
Just kind of focusing it in. Get some characters, clean up that grammar, which would be really easy to do with a spell check. That would clean it right up. This didn't even need a more advanced grammar tool, which I think a lot of the other fanfictions would do. They were very basic grammar things that spell check could very easily correct. Mm-hmm. There's not too much to say about this one.
Overall, I think this is the best one we've written, or least bad, I suppose, so far. But trust me, when we get down the line, we're gonna get some bad ones. Like maybe in the next couple, we're gonna have a little bit of a visit again from one of our other authors,
one of our friends that we've talked to a little bit.
We may or may not discuss this, but we will get back to him soon.
It's true. So, we'll see you guys next time on Fantastic Fictioners.
And don't forget, drink lots of pencil shavings. They're really good for you, except they're really bad. Don't do that.
Guys, I don't know where he gets this stuff.